हर जगह स्वामी जी को दो पैर रखने के लिए, स्वामी हर जगह स्वामी जी को दो पैर रखने के लिए।
स्वामी जी नहीं छोड़ते, हमने ट्राई किया। स्वामी जी तो
रखेंगे, रखो तुम
रखो, हमने ट्राई किया, नको नको बोलते।
मैं बोली कल स्वामी जी को, स्वामी जी आप ना ऐसे थोड़ा सा फुट रेस्ट रखो, एक इधर एक उधर, जहाँ पे देखो जैसे 1-2 घंटा लोग करो ना, हम तो यहाँ रहेंगे
नहीं, हम ट्राई किया, नहीं छोड़ते, नहीं बोलते।
पैर के ऊंचा पैर रखने से ठीक रहेगा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। 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 श्री
राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम हे माँ हे हे माँ हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो हे माँ हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो मुझे अपने आंचल में बुन लो मुझे अपने आंचल में बुन लो मेरा निवेदन सुन लो हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो जब से तेरा दामन छूटा 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 मुझको लागे जग छूटा जब से तेरा दामन छूटा मुझको लागे ये जग झूठा विनती मेरी सुन लो मेरा निवेदन सुन लो हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो तेरे आंचल की शीतलता तेरे आंचल की शीतलता फिर से चाहो तेरी ममता फूल सा मुझको चुन लो मेरा निवेदन सुन लो हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो मुझे अपने आंचल में बुन लो मुझे अपने आंचल में बुन लो मेरा निवेदन सुन लो हे माँ मेरा निवेदन सुन लो या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः दुर्गा दुर्गति दूर कर मंगल कर सबका मन मंदिर उज्ज्वल
करो, कृपा करके ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, सब अंधकार मिटा दे मैया, दर्श तेरा कर पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, जग में आकर जग को मैया, जब तक मैं पहचान सका, क्यों आया हूँ काहे जाना, ये भी ना मैं जान सका, तू है अगम गोचर मैया, तू है अगम अगोचर मैया, कहो कैसे ढक पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, कर कृपा जगदम्ब भवानी, मैं बालक तू दानु हूँ, मैं बालक तू दानु हूँ, नहीं आराधन जब तप जानो, मैं अवगुण की खान हूँ, मैं अवगुण की खान हूँ, दे ऐसा वरदान है मैया, दे ऐसा वरदान है मैया, सुमिरन तेरा गाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया, चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं, सब अंधकार मिटा दे मैया, दर्श तेरा कर पाऊं मैं, ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया। हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी अखिया, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी अखिया, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी अखिया, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी, देखियो चाहत कमल नयन को, देखियो चाहत कमल नयन को, निस दिन रहत उदासी, निस दिन रहत उदासी अखिया, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी अखिया, हरि दर्शन बिन प्यासी, केसर तिलक मोतियन की माला, वृंदावन के वासी, केसर तिलक मोतियन की माला, वृंदावन के वासी, नेह लगाओ त्यागी गए तृण समनेह लगाओ, त्यागी गई तृण सम डार गई गल फांसी अखिया हरे दर्शन बिना प्यासी
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam, pranam to everybody. Namaskar, namaskar. For the past few days, we have not been in touch with Srimad Bhagavad Gita in-depth study. So today we will have, after so many permutations and combinations, slowly the final product is emerging. For the past 3.5 to 4 months, he made us to toil with this idea, and finally he made it possible for us to identify 200 to 250 examples for 250 slogas spread in 18 chapters. The idea is, so far, unknowingly, unwittingly, all of us have reverence for Gita. Some of us may know something about Gita. Some of us may have heard something about Gita. Some of us would have read something about Gita. But ultimately, it remains in the shelf, not in our daily life. Because we have not been taught that it has got something to do with our daily life. So here is an attempt. How do I make it a part of my daily life? None of us know Sanskrit, or most of us. So we don't have that background. So we have to have the assistance of some translated book in our language, and then we read, that's all. So here it is the from shelf to self, from reverence to relevance. We revere, but we hardly find relevance to our daily life. So reverence to relevance, shelf to self. So finally the outcome is now named as the Gita touch in daily life. Excepting this chapter 2 and 18, which all of you might know, that it has got more than 70 stanzas. 72 stanzas for second chapter, 78 stanzas for 18 chapter. Excepting these two, rest of the 16 chapters, he made us to identify relatable examples. It is not directly linked. Why it is not directly linked? This was given to us 6,000 years ago, and we are now in 2025. So it has to be interpreted in the way in which we can all understand. This please you have to bear in mind. Gita was given out 6,000 years ago. Now we are in 2025. Unless and until it is interpreted in the way in which we can understand now, it will not become a part of our life. It will become a history, a knowledge. We hear, we store. But when it is connected to the modern life, the present day life, where the digital platform is becoming more and more predominant, so we have to keep on bringing the dimension into our life. So we have selected about 10 from each and 20 from these two, so 200. So first stanza, first chapter. Chapter 1 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, is often overlooked as merely a dramatic prologue to the deeper teachings that follow. But this chapter holds a profound psychological and spiritual significance. It marks the moment when a warrior's confidence gives way to crisis and where the journey of inner transformation truly begins. It's a powerful reminder that self-realization often starts with self-doubt. Set on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna stands at a threshold, torn between his duty as a warrior and his attachment to family, tradition, identity. Overwhelmed by grief, fear, and moral confusion, he drops his bow. This moment of collapse, of inner unraveling, is not a weakness, it is the yoga of despair. Because even sorrow, when met with honesty and surrender, can lead to awakening. In our own lives, we all experience Kurukshetra moments. When decisions weigh heavy, roads become burdensome, and emotions cloud our vision. We may know what is expected of us, but not have the strength to act. In these times, Arjuna Vishada Yoga becomes deeply relevant. It shows us that confusion is not the end of the path, it is often the beginning of clarity. This booklet explores 10 real-life situations mentioned in the slogan number 1, whether it is emotional breakdowns, ethical dilemmas, or the paralysis caused by overthinking. Each story reflects how the Gita's wisdom is present even in our most fragile states. Chapter 1 teaches us to pause before we act, to feel deeply before we respond, to question bravely before we commit. It validates the inner storm while preparing the ground for the light that follows. Gita chapter number 1 teaches us to pause before we act, not impulsively act. To feel deeply before we respond, to question bravely before we commit. It validates the inner storm while preparing the ground for the light that follows. Through themes like vulnerability, empathy, identity crisis, moral courage, this chapter allows us to see that true strength is born in the willingness to face one's weaknesses. This is not a chapter to be rushed through. It is to be reflected upon, because it is in these very moments of inner conflict that transformation becomes possible. As Arjuna surrenders to Krishna with the words, "I am confused about my duty and am besieged in my anxiety, I ask you to tell me clearly what is best for me." So too can we begin our journey from confusion to clarity. Let us begin with chapter number 1. As the miner of our own inner battles, in the tears and tremors lies the seed of transformation and the first honest step towards self-mastery. This is how we relate ourselves to the modern present world. Family life, professional life, social life, individual life, where we are confronted with different types of challenges, duties, commitments. Normally we react based upon our knowledge, or impulsively we react. And there is always ups and downs. When there are too many downs, we get distressed, desperate, dejected, dispirited. Too much ups, we forget about everything, we arrogate, we think we are the planners, doers, everything, and later on we come to suffer because of that. So Arjuna, chapter number 1 makes us to pause. So leaving the Kurukshetra field, we are living in 2025, we are trying to look at the meaning of the shlokas from this perspective. What are the insights, There are about 40, how many slokas? Huh? 47 slokas. There are 47 slokas, we may not be able to remember them. So again we have condensed it to 10 points. This is not full and complete, this is an exploration. Those who are hearing are kindly requested to take it as a first step. You can do it, you can explore it in your own way. Many of you or some of you will know that after having gone through 662 slokas out of the 700 in the 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, I have told you what all to be conveyed. Now, you please reflect, contemplate, go within, and then do as you are prompted from within. So Gita is not a dictum or a dogma imposed on us. Lord Krishna is a highly democratic Lord. So he gives us freedom. Vimarshaya buddhi. Yathechasi tata guru. And whatever you feel like, you do that. I have given you all these. Think over it. Exact words of Papa. Papa puts it in a same way. Do not do just because Ramdas has told. Unless you have the inner alignment, don't do it, even if Ramdas says. Very specific. This freedom is given by Papa also. To quote his own words, the following words of Papa throw more light on the above theme. He says, seek guidance always from within. Papa's words. If what Ramdas says is in agreement with your inner voice, follow it. Don't accept Ramdas's suggestion without a sanction from within. The more a man becomes reflective and meditative, the nearer he approaches the true springs of life. Total freedom is given to us. You have said everything. Now you start reflecting. In Bhagavad Gita, he says the same word. You got that? English book? Here it's there now. She's bringing. इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैत्यद अशेषेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु. Thus has this wisdom, the most profound secret of our secret knowledge, been imparted to you by me. Deeply pondering over it, now do as you like. This is the 63rd sloka. I mean, after 662 slokas, the Lord gives this total freedom. Deeply ponder over it, and then now do as you like. This has to be borne in mind. That is the speciality of Bhagavad Gita. So insights, So from the 46 slokas, suppose we go through, you may also get something different or more. So for the moment, we will go through these 10. Attachment clouds judgment and leads to partiality, especially when exercised by those in positions of power. Attachment distorts vision. It makes us see a relationship where we should see responsibilities. It makes us see relationships, when attachment is clouded, where we should see responsibility. Effective action begins with thoughtful observation. When we assess before acting, we act from clarity. Understand, before engaging in action, take a mindful pause, even in a moment of urgency. A thoughtful pause before major life choices can prevent years of inner conflict and misalignment. Changing direction after reflection is growing up. Wisdom lies in turning inward before stepping forward. Inner conflict manifests as our outer breakdown. It is never too late to pause and recalibrate. Discernment begins with honest reflection. Victory is not always in the climb, sometimes it lies in stepping back. Victory is not always in the climb. Sometimes it lies in stepping back. We were, prior to coming to ashram, we were very much in Wayanad, connected with plantation. So at the time of pepper picking, workers, they have to go by ladder and they will start picking it and putting it in their bag. There will be a lot of hands. Suddenly we will find that's coming down. Red hand. It will bite from everywhere. He will come back. We don't allow any other thing to put, like BHC or DDT. So we say you put turmeric powder. That will not kill it. So they take turmeric powder, again climb up, do it, again climb down, pause for a few moments. All these ants, they will all be on the ground. They will be going out. Because turmeric makes them to move away from that place. It will not kill. So climbing down, so then only they can pick. Otherwise, attached to they will not be. They will be beaten by this severely and they will not be able to do anything. We remember that when we read this. So, victory is not always in the climb, sometimes it lies in stepping back. Much of our emotional suffering comes not from what is, but from what we think is. We are going through chapter number 1, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Assumptions feed emotional turmoil. Examine rather than immediately believing the thoughts that disturb. Transformative power of pause and clarity. Stillness creates the ground for clarity. Clarity is not the absence of confusion, but the courage to seek truth through it. Adharma does not just affect individuals. It ripples outwards, affecting communities and future generations. Protecting dharma and safeguarding the respect, freedom and well-being of women is necessary for the collective well-being of society. Self-deception masquerades as virtues. The mind often rationalizes unethical actions as noble or necessary. Justice tempered with compassion restores balance and trust. It encourages truth-telling and transforms guilt into growth. Transforms. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it. Sometimes the comfort of a loved one is all we need to gather our strength again. So, when we made a cursory glance through 46, these are the things which emerged. There could be more. Attachment clouds judgment and leads to partiality, especially when exercised by those in positions of power. Favoritism, nepotism, all these things we see that. Effective action begins with thoughtful observation. When we assess before acting, we act from clarity. A thoughtful pause before major life choices can prevent years of inner conflict and misalignment. Inner conflict manifests as outer breakdown. It is never too late to pause and recalibrate. Much of our emotional suffering comes not from what is, from what we think is. Assumptions are often the real enemy. Misperceptions cloud judgment and lead to unnecessary sorrow. Transformative power of pause and clarity. Stillness creates the ground for clarity. Adharma does not just affect individuals, it ripples outward, affecting communities and future generations. Self-deceptions masquerades as virtues. The mind often rationalizes unethical action as noble or necessary. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it. See how all these things are relevant, Now these are all philosophies. Now let us see. We have taken something from these slogas. Then we come out with a chart, what we have done. Ready recurrence, Serial number, shloka number, topic, After going through the example, we give a caption, topic, and then clues to the incident, shloka, and then which segment. In our study, we are trying to see that Gita reaches out to different segments: personal, professional, family, student, and then social. Think. So it reaches everywhere, no? Problems faced by each segment. That is why it is full and comprehensive. The chart is there. I am not reading out the chart. And so there are 10, out of these 10, we were able to get personal 1, professional 3, 2 family, 1 student, 3 social. Now we move to the shloka. Before we go to the shloka, we go to the example. At a renowned hospital managed by a charitable trust, the managing director faced a crucial decision about succession. Driven by personal interest, he wished for his son, who was not a doctor, to succeed him as director. Meanwhile, one of the trustees had a son who was a qualified doctor and aspired to join the hospital's board. However, this request was denied. The ensuing confusion and sense of injustice led to discord among the trustees, ultimately causing the hospital's operations to come to a standstill. The director's actions were guided by bias and attachment rather than by fairness and the principles of dharma, truth, justice. His self-interest clouded his judgment, preventing him from acting in the best interest of the institution and the community it served. This scenario closely mirrors the attitude of King Dhritarashtra in the Mahabharata. In the opening shloka of the Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra's very first word reveal this partiality. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyussavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakuruvada Sanjaya. O Sanjaya, after gathering on the sacred field of Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? Dhritarashtra refers to the Kauravas as my son and the Pandavas as sons of Pandus, unable to see both as part of his own family. His vision is tainted by attachment and self-interest, leading to disastrous consequences for his kingdom. When leaders allow personal bias to override fairness and dharma, the greater good suffers. True leadership requires rising above self-interest and acting with impartiality, ensuring justice and harmony for all. So the first stanza itself touches upon a very fundamental question in us, the me and mine, the me and mine, the me and mine. No? So when the me and mine predominates, as you all know, Pandavas were entitled for the 50% share of the whole property and everything. So after so many hurdles, they were able to reach a stage to claim it, and Arjuna flatly refused. Dhritarashtra is the king, the emperor. He should be impartial to both. So their legitimate demand, and Sri Krishna went there as a mediator. He wanted to avoid the war not to take place. So he pleaded to give them at least 5 villages. And finally, he came down to 5 houses, which was also denied by Duryodhana. And he was a mere spectator, Dhritarashtra. He could have asserted, give them 5, then the war would not have been there. If the war is not there, we will not have Bhagavad Gita. No? So one more principle is there. Whatever is happening by His will, and whatever is happening for our ultimate good. This is Papa's oft-repeated quote. So behind everything, another quotation is, behold divinity in every aspect of this world, Leela. So in order that this celestial song is rendered to us from time immemorial, no? Bhagavad Gita has to be there. So if Bhagavad Gita has to be there, Duryodhana should not concede. Dhritarashtra should not give them anything. Give instructions to part with it. So that is why the drama has been set. And the key player is Shakuni. Even when the offer came, we were told to settle for 5 houses. He was about to settle, Shaguni called him in. Don't give. We take Shaguni as an villain, no? No. We should be grateful to Shaguni. Otherwise, the word Bhagavad Gita would not have come. So this is only an instrumental cause. This is something for us to ponder over. So behind the seemingly villain role, the role of a villain, we find God's purpose. And when we look at a movie, if the villain is not there, how will we name the other one as hero? If the darkness is not there, where is the relevance for a light? So dualism will be there. Papa used to say in the creation, all these things are relevant. Anyway, coming back again. So here we try to understand this particular sloka with this. When the me and mine dominates, I become blind to the justice. So many incidents you might be knowing, which says, somebody should succeed, and what happens? There will be court cases. So many things happen. At times, they win, at times they lose. In our mind, so many such cases come up. When we become partial, how it damages the whole thing. Slogan number 2. Rayansh, a lively 6-year-old, was playing joyfully in his front yard when his ball rolled out of the open gate and bounced on to the main road. Acting on pure instinct, Rayansh dashed after it, unaware of the danger that awaited him. At that very moment, a speeding car came hurtling down the road. Pradeep, the alert driver, slammed on the brakes, stopping just in time, mere feet from the little boy. Rayansh, blissfully unaware of his brush with danger, picked up his ball, ran back inside the gate. Shaken, Pradeep parked his car, approached the house. When Rayansh's grandfather answered the door, Pradeep gently explained what had happened and suggested he is too young to grasp the danger, but a simple act of keeping the gate shut could prevent a serious accident. The grandfather listened, his initial concern giving way to deep gratitude. He realized that Rayan's impulsive dash for the ball could have ended in tragedy, and that a small pause, a moment of awareness, or even a simple act of closing the gate could make all the difference. As Rayan's grandfather reflected, he recalled the 21st and 22nd slokas in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where before the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna asked Krishna to pause and place his chariot in the middle of the two armies to observe, reflect, and understand the situation before acting. सेनयोर उपयोर मध्ये रथम स्थापय मे अच्युता यावदेतान् निरीक्ष्येऽहं योद्धु कामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सहयोधव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे. Place my chariot in the midst of two armies, O Achyuta, that I may observe those who stand here eager to fight, and let me know with whom I must engage in this battle. Before rushing into action, whether in play, work, or life's great battles, it is wise to pause, observe, assess the situation. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that clarity and safety come from thoughtful reflection and conscious choices. Sometimes a small pause can make all the difference between danger and safety, regret and gratitude, confusion and wisdom. Pause before you act. Evaluate before plunging into any action. Evaluate. The first one was attachment. Attachment, evaluate. This is not to be read like that, no. The real purpose is when the more and more we try to go within, so many such experiences will parade before our mind. Suddenly we realize, oh, this is what God wanted me to know, which He had already pronounced it in Bhagavad Gita. And when this reflection becomes more and more rooted, it will help us for the life to be lived. We are now trying to draw inspiration from the life lived so far, so that will help me to have a culture where my mindset will enable me to tackle everything more effectively. Again, evaluate, same thing. Riya, a talented student from Delhi. Each sloga, we don't have to limit with one example. Then it becomes an academic study. We don't want that academic study. With this background, you go through the sloga again. God will prompt you to identify an example which according to you aligns with the sloga. So here, the second, the same sloga. Riya, a talented student from Delhi, was celebrated for his creativity and passion for art. However, influenced by family expectations and peer pressure, she joined a top engineering college. From the start, she felt disconnected. The subjects did not resonate with her, and her performance and confidence declined. After 2 difficult years, Riya finally opened up to her parents about her true passion, graphic design. Though hesitant at first, they supported her decision to switch paths. Riya thrived in design school, excelling in her studies and rediscovering her love for learning. She went on to build a successful career as a graphic designer, working with the leading brands and finding both professional fulfillment and personal happiness. This incident from Riya's life is a reminder that before making important life decisions, especially those that shape our future, it is wise to pause, reflect, assess the situation honestly. Just as Arjuna did on the battlefield as pointed out in 21 and 22. Before plunging into the great battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna asked Krishna to pause and place his chariot in the middle of the two armies, that he could observe and assess the situation. This crucial pause allowed Arjuna to reflect deeply before acting. Similarly, Riya's turning point came when she paused to reflect on her true interests and abilities rather than rushing forward on the path chosen by others. This pause, this self-assessment helped her realign her action with her authentic self, leading to both peace and success. The Bhagavad Gita teaches us that thoughtful self-examination and courage to act on our own true calling are essential for a fulfilling and successful life. A simple example is, before we cross the road, we try to look at each other, both sides, Otherwise, what happens? There will be accident. Pause, evaluate before plunging into action. So this particular stanza, suppose we connect it with that. We leave the Kurukshetra of Hatfield, we leave the sloga, take the theme, connect it to the day-to-day. That is a Gita touch in daily life. Slogan number 29, discernment. Arjun was a gifted software engineer in Bangalore, living a comfortable life with his wife and young daughter. When a prestigious multinational company in Mumbai offered him a high-paying managerial role, Arjun was elated. The promise of a hefty salary, a coveted title, and the admiration of his peers was irresistible. Eager to prove himself and climb the corporate ladder, Arjun accepted the offer, moving to Mumbai, leaving his family behind. At first, the new job was everything he had dreamed of. The perks, the recognition, and the sense of achievement were exhilarating. But soon, the demands of the role took their toll. Long hours, relentless travel, constant pressure left Arjun drained. He missed birthdays, school performances, quiet evenings with his family. His hobbies, photography, volunteering, fell by the wayside. The excitement faded, replaced by a growing sense of emptiness and fatigue. One evening, after missing his daughter's school play for the third time, Arjun sat alone in his apartment, overwhelmed by regret. His body felt heavy, his mind restless, his heart ached with the longing for the life he had left behind. He realized he had been chasing external rewards, status, money, validation, while neglecting what truly mattered.
Software is control activate.
Why bring that now? That line is the problem always. You can remove that line. A simple line is enough. Okay. The thread is gone, no?
Sorry, Sanji.
I will open.
It's not closing yet.
I will open.
Close it.
Leave it. So the excitement faded. Arjun sat alone in the compartment, overwhelmed by regret. His body heavy, his mind restless, his heart ached with longing for the life he had left behind. He realized he had been chasing external rewards, status, money, validation, while neglecting what truly mattered: connection, balance, inner fulfillment. After deep reflection, Arjuna made a courageous choice. He resigned from the high pressure job, returned to Bangalore, accepting a simpler role that paid less but allowed him to be present for his family and pursue his passions. This decision brought him peace and genuine happiness. The turmoil in Arjuna's mind is mirrored in the 29th shloka of the first chapter. Sidanti mamagatrani mukham cha parishusyati vepatuscha sharire ma romaharshascha jayate. My limbs give away, my mouth is parched, my body trembles, my hair stands on end. The body of the Gita teaches often echoes the mind's turmoil. When our actions are driven by fear, ego, or societal pressure, we lose sight of our true path, and both mind and body suffer. The greatest battles are fought within. When we ignore our inner voice and chase hollow rewards, confusion and fatigue follow. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from external validation, but from living in harmony with ourselves. The first victory must always be won on the inner battlefield.
Something is not shared. The file is not shared with me. File is not shared.
Who said?
You.
3 slokas, 4 examples. First one was related to attachment. Second one was evaluate. Third one was discernment. Then discernment is fourth. Evaluate is third. Evaluate, there are 2. Okay. Just imagine. We have to keep on, because we are not interested in covering the sloka. We are interested in picking out certain points that gives us some, that will improve the quality of our thinking, quality of our reacting. We should be very clear about this in-depth study. We are not here to learn slokas or meanings. We are here to, our whole emphasis or thrust is on how to improve the quality of my life. And how does Bhagavad Gita help me in that? Then from there we move to one more. Perception. Vijit always looked up to his uncle, a man who had been a constant source of support, affection, and wisdom. Their weekends together were filled with laughter, cricket matches, heartfelt conversation about life. This bond was a cornerstone of Vijit's happiness. Then suddenly everything changed. His uncle grew distant, barely responding to calls or messages. Vijit's mind raced with worry. Did I say something wrong? Did I disappoint him? Has he stopped caring for me? The silence grew heavier with each passing day, and negative thoughts began to swirl in his mind, making him anxious and restless. Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, Vijit decided to visit his uncle. When he arrived, he found a very different man. one who looked weary, burdened, sorrowful. After a moment of awkward silence, his uncle finally opened up. His daughter, who had recently married, was going through a painful divorce and the family was in turmoil. The emotional weight had left him withdrawn and overwhelmed. In that moment, Vijay realized how his own assumptions and negative thinking has caused him unnecessary pain. The problem was never his uncle's affection, but his own misinterpretation of the situation. With empathy and understanding, Vijit offered his support, and their bond became even stronger, built now on deeper compassion and trust. This reminded him of Shloka 30 from chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. Here, immediately after 1 week of the marriage, that is why the uncle could not. 1 week, he would have borrowed money to conduct their monk with him. And everything was done. And after 1 week, she returns home. And the husband insists for a divorce. So that is the.
Swamiji, but here, one thing, your uncle and Devi was so close. And why uncle, being so close, why he did not interact with him? Why did not he tell him? If he would have told that sorrow that.
Yeah, he was having that, he did. That is why he dispirited. There is no rationalization there, no. We are sitting because we are not affected. He was deeply affected, so everything clouded, clouded his understanding. He had nothing against any, but as soon as he came, he remembered, and he told him. So here we are approaching different situation. So our own misconception has led to our own negative thoughts. This is the idea. And the chapter is, sloka is 30. Gandivam samsrate hastad tvakchaiva paridakhyate natashaknomi avastatum brahmativa cha me manaha. Brahmativa cha me manaha. My bow, the Gandiva, slips from my hand. My skin burns all over. I am unable to stand. My mind is in a whirl, as it were. Just as Arjuna's mind was crowded by doubt and fear on the battlefield, leading to confusion and sorrow, Vijit's mind was crowded by negative assumptions and anxiety. The real suffering was not in the situation itself, but in the way his mind perceived and interpreted it. The Gita teaches us that much of our pain comes not from the reality, but from the stories and fears we create within our own mind. The true path to peace lies in seeking clarity, understanding, empathy, seeing situations as they are, not as our fears paint them. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us, often the real battle is within. The wisdom is found when we quiet the mind and open the heart. Many of you might be recollecting many of this that had happened in family life, professional life, social life. Many, many, many. So, perception. Out of the 10 slokas, 5 slokas give us something about perception, something about discernment, something about evaluate, and something about attachment. Think. Why are we going through it? So that the life to be lived. Suppose we keep on going through this, we are not reading philosophy. Through these experiments in the day-to-day life, a relatable example. We are trying to understand the theme contained, and the more and more we read it, reread it, think, reflect, it slowly starts influencing our thinking system. And it guides us in handling problems from today onwards. The life lived so far, Papa's famous quotation, that comes to our mind. The world we live in is a school. The world we live in is a school in which Observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. How do we understand? The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities. Are we hearing that? So this exercise might help us. Wait. Think. Reflect. Then act. We will fail, agreed. We may forget this also. But if we do the reflection, manana, if we stop with Sravana, it will also serve no purpose. But if we add little manana into it, then slowly the assimilation of the theme might start. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam, no? Actually, you and I, when we were in school, or in your case, college, you have done this. That is why you were able to excel. Not merely hearing the text given by the lecturer or professor, not merely going through the text which you have, but when he delivered, when you read, you started assimilating, absorbing it in the way in which it is to be absorbed by you. And then it was reflected in the answer paper. In the examination hall, neither the text nor the lecturer help you. What you have assimilated or absorbed, it comes out in the form of answers to questions which you have no idea. But the absorption, no? That is the criteria, that is the benchmark, that is the measuring rod, whether it has done its purpose. So whenever, in our case, though we have done it excellently well in our educational career, probably in our day-to-day life, though God subjected us to go through many trying experiences, we still have not learned the lesson He wanted to convey through that particular experience. We have put a label, success and joy, right and wrong, and we carry on with it. Suppose we take it as a lesson, as a lesson, as a lesson, then initially there will be disturbance whenever any negative things happen. But in the shortest possible time, we may be able to pull us up and then start pondering. That will help us. More of it tomorrow. Hari Om. Oh.
Chitrama, Mansala Itila, you can repeat?
There's an auto rickshaw, wait for 2 minutes.
What?
The auto rickshaw sound is mixing with that.
Perception.
ஒரே ஃபீலிங் கொடுக்குது மீனிங் அது எப்படி டிஃபரன்ஷியேட் பண்றது?
Perception and perception attachment. Assumption. Perception, assumption. How to differentiate?
Start thinking and get an answer from yourself. Otherwise, the plumbing, we are hearing, we are asking, we are getting. We have to do something, Then you will know how to approach. Whatever you have assumed, whatever you have perceived, see whether your experience has made you to know what exactly assumption means, what exactly perception means. Suppose you hear an answer from somebody else. The process of going within gets stopped, halted. Think about it, tomorrow we will deal with it. We have to set ourselves on this process. No more hearing, but more and more plunging deep within, reflecting, reflecting, reflecting. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om Pranam. Namaskar Swamiji. Namaskar. Namaskar Swamiji.
Namaskaram.
Namaskar. Hari Om.
कल आई थी ना, राजा बोला you were sleeping, so I thought I'll take from क्योंकि you are sleeping, why to disturb? Maybe he only gave, I thought why to कल कंड फोन इड़ा नाले कल कंड until you become all right. Why simply later when you முடிஞ்சா பண்ணுங்க சட்டன் ஆகும் தமிழ் தெரியுமா மல்லேஸ்வரம்
இல்லை நாங்கள் 2.5 வருஷம் கண்ணா மெட்ராஸில் இருந்தோம்
அங்கே படிச்சது